Before we start, just a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. Only 2% are subscribed at 1,000 subscribers. I'll be posting a special video. He plants an envelope on the cake edge, cutting the frosting. Open it, his grin holds too long. I flip the flap and slide out 2 tickets. My name stares back once, then a stranger's, Lena. His fingers twitch toward the slip too fast. I'm Mara, 28, and my jaw stays steady. The room hums with birthday noise and forced laughs. I hold the tickets just out of reach. He reaches again, knuckles whitening near my wrist. Printer messed up, his voice trips on the word. Who is Lena? I keep it simple and level. He snorts, then shrugs like it's nothing. Maybe the agent's name, he scratches his neck. A sugar rose slides off the cake and falls. My skin prickles, but I let him breathe. He taps the envelope and pivots to plans. We sail Friday, sweet upgrade, all-inclusive. Every word lands hard and rehearsed. I fold the tickets once, then again. He laughs too big, like sound can erase ink. Friends lean in for photos and loud wishes. I smile with teeth and locked cheeks. He angles our faces to frame the moment. The camera chirps and freezes us in place. I keep the envelope in frame on purpose. Give me those, I'll fix it online. He goes casual, shoulders loose, eyes tight. I slide the envelope into my bag. Later, I answer, then cut a slice. His jaw flexes, 1 beat, 2 beats, 3. He steers chatter toward sunsets and champagne. He lists ports like a guide who's memorized. I nod and take the smallest bite. He watches my mouth instead of the table. Every detail feels staged, like marks on a map. I excuse myself for water near the sink. His phone sits unlocked by the napkins. A notification blooms with a tiny anchor. Deck 12 at sunset, the banner teases. He turns his head, too slow to catch me. I set the phone down, screen dark again. He laughs at a joke he didn't hear. My sister nudges my arm and lifts brows. I say later and pass her a look. The ticket edges bite my palm like teeth. Cake plates clatter and someone starts a song. He pulls me into a quick, eager hug. His breath is sweet and nervous against my ear. We needed this trip, he whispers like a play. My arms hover, then land lightly on his back. Gifts pile, ribbons tangle, people wave goodbye. He collects wrappers with sudden energy. Early morning tomorrow, we'll finalize excursions. I nod and move toward the hallway. He stands blocking the door, then steps aside. In the elevator, he checks his watch. Pack light and weather's perfect all week. I study the mirrored wall and our reflection. His smile looks pasted and slightly off-center. He catches me watching and tightens his tie. Outside the apartment, air presses close and heavy. He kisses my forehead and pockets his hands. Best birthday ever, just wait till Friday. I hold his gaze until he blinks first. Can't wait, I say and hear the flatness. Inside, I dump the bag on the counter. The envelope slides free with a soft hiss. I smooth the tickets and zoom in on details. Same cabin number, same booking code. Only the second passenger doesn't exist for me. I try a code guess on his account page. First try fails, second try opens like a door. Emails line up with clean subjects and dates. One stands out with a heart and a ship. I open it and read very slowly. Dinner for 3 pops in a confirmation below. I scroll and find a note for dessert. 2 words chill me more than the name. Good night, then her name stamped confident. The cursor blinks as if waiting for mine. I lock the screen and breathe through 4 counts. No scenes tonight, no screaming into walls. I draft 1 text to my sister. Stay close Friday, I need eyes. Her dots appear fast, then a thumbs up. I pack 1 carry-on with steady hands. Only essentials that keep me mobile and fast. No souvenirs, no heels, no dead weight. I leave space for whatever truth shows up. The zipper closes like a quiet promise. He buzzes at midnight and asks for photos. I send a cake shot with the envelope peeking. He replies with fireworks and a way too big heart. Sleep big week, he writes like a coach. I mute our chat and stare at the ceiling. In the dark, a plan clicks into place. Bored without anger, watch without warning. Move toward proof, not noise. Get the third chair to reveal itself. Make him choose while the ship is moving. The porter lifts our bags and greets him by nickname. Back again, same perks, a wink lands like a slap. He fumbles for a tip and avoids my stare. I memorize the nickname and smile thin. The porter's grin tightens when I do not blink. At security, he urges me ahead with a flare. He lingers with an officer a beat too long. Their handshake looks practiced, not casual. He pockets a lanyard before I reach mine. My chest drums, he knows people here. Check-in spits out 2 cards without hesitation. The agent reads the screen and pauses mid-breath. Your amenities were confirmed last week, her eyebrow lifts. He laughs once and taps the counter mauve. Leon. I slide my card away before he can touch it. The agent prints a wrist tag that isn't my name. She tears it off fast, apologizing with a tight jaw. System cached an old guest, she mutters while clicking. I hold still and let the mistake hang. He coughs and stares at the floor. A bell rings for boarding zones, people surge forward. He grips my elbow and steers hard left. VIP entrance faster, his palm stays heavy. I drop my weight and make him stop. Regular line, I answer low and even. On the gangway, a staffer waves him like a regular. Welcome back, sweet ready, the words land sharp. He flashes a broad grin that doesn't reach his eyes. I raise mine and ask for our cabin number. The staffer recites it and adds the deck too confident. We step into the atrium and noise rises. He pivots toward elevators with muscle memory. I slow to read the event screens in passing. A note blinks about a private tasting at 8. His shoulders twitch when I look too long. Our door opens with the first swipe. Inside, a folded card sits on the table. He crosses fast and palms it with a quick squeeze. It's the schedule, he tucks it deep into his pocket. Paper edges peek out like a trapped tongue. He pops a closet open and talks excursions. I approach the phone and press guest services. Dining confirmation for room, I read the number. The operator repeats our assigned table and time. Then adds 3 seats requested by the primary guest. My hand covers the receiver before he hears. I thank the voice and hang up slowly. He tosses shirts onto the bed to create a distraction. Unpack later, muster drill soon, words rush together. I nods and pocket the room notepad with the code. We move toward the drill station with the crowd. Crew scan our bracelets and point to a row. An attendant checks names on a tablet. She frowns, then backspaces something on the screen. Your companion will meet you after, she murmurs, confused. Outside, he guides us through a quieter corridor. Shortcut, he claims, breathing through his nose. I lag and pick up a crumpled printout underfoot. It lists spa appointments tied to our cabin. One is for a couple, I keep the slip. Elevators jam, we take the stairs 2 flights. He moves like he's walked this route a dozen times. At the door of a lounge, a host perks up. Your welcome drinks are waiting on the rail. He accepts 2 flutes, hands shaking slightly. A photographer appears like a hawk, flash, smile. Repeat guests get the first frame, the photographer chirps. He tries to block the lens with his arm. I lean into the shot and hold my card visible. The shutter clicks again, proof with time stamped. We wander the deck because he insists on exploring. He angles us away from crew with tablets every time. I test him and veer toward a concierge desk. He intercepts with a joke and a gentle push. Let's watch sail away, he suggests, voice tightened. A cruise app buzzes on my phone with alerts. I open the chat function and search our cabin. A welcome message sits from last night. Reservations updated as requested, the line reads. No name, only a request number I copy down. I excuse myself to find the restroom and vanish. Down 1 level, I approach a different desk. Can you confirm our loyalty status? I ask softly. The woman types and leans in without smiling. You've never sailed, he has, with different companions. My tongue stays behind my teeth for 3 beats. Is the other companion embarking today? I risk. She studies the screen and shakes once. Listed as delayed, special note for celebration. I thank her and slip back into the flow. He waits by the rail and checks his watch. Lost you, he says with a light shrug. I raise the glass and let silence answer. The horn blasts and people cheer around us. He flinches like he heard something else. Before dinner, he pushes for a nap window. Jet lag, he claims, though we have none. He draws curtains and pockets his phone. I feign yawning and curl on the edge. His breath slows while mine counts seconds. When his chest settles, I slide free. I retrieve his jacket and check the inside pocket. A small envelope rests against the lining. Inside, a receipt shows prepayment for a ring. Pickup scheduled at the first port tomorrow at 10. I rehang the jacket and smooth the fabric. Footsteps pass the hallway and halt outside. A soft knock taps our door twice. He jerks awake and heads for the handle. I reach it first and open to an empty corridor. A runner hurries past and glances back, startled. He pretends to tie a shoe and moves on. I step into the hall and scan both directions. On the floor sits a single place card, printed with our table number and 3 dots after. The hostess blocks our path with a practiced smile. Table's ready, she gestures, then hesitates. A third chair waits with cutlery laid out. He nudges it inward with his knee, casual. I pull it back, out, and leave it angled. A server appears with 2 menus already flagged. Special notes attached for this evening, he announces. He reaches for the 3rd setting to clear it. A second server waves him off with a checklist. Leave it, timing matters, she murmurs without looking up. I scan the table number printed on the card. The digits match the place card from the hall. A small dot sits beside the number like a Q. He flips the card face down with his thumb. I turn it over again and keep it upright. He orders water and stares straight ahead. I ask the host any changes on our booking. She taps a tablet and freezes mid-scroll. Your celebration package triggers after the toast. Her eyes flick to the empty seat, then back. Music leans in from the next section. A violinist hovers beside us with a list. Do we start after dessert? He asks sotto voce. I slide my napkin and interject first. Not yet, we'll confirm after appetizers. The kitchen sends an amuse with a tag. The slip reads proposal premium with our cabin code. He palms the paper, but I catch the corner. My phone snaps a quiet photo under the table. He notices the angle and tightens his jaw. Bread lands, butter follows, he ignores both. I reach for the knife, then stop midway. Under the plate, a folded square peeks out. I unfold it to a neat message. Seat 3 joins at 1945, use Q word. What Q? I ask without raising my voice. He runs a finger around his glass and shrugs. Probably the band, he answers, eyes on the door. I tuck the note into my pocket and breathe once. The second hand on my watch drags like rope. Salads arrive and vanish, nothing sticks. A manager materializes with a polished smile. Congrats in advance, she offers, hands clasped. He claps once like he's in on it. I look at her and let the silence sit. She recovers and gestures toward a side table. Dessert cart will roll on my signal. I ask for the order slip out of habit. She hands it over without thinking. 2 lines glow in fine print for my eyes only. Message line 1 reads to Lena with hearts. Line 2 reads, will you marry me on deck? A timestamp sits below with tonight's slot. He reaches and I pass it back slowly. The manager smiles, unaware of the heat. He leans close, voice thin as thread. Ignore the name, it's part of the package. I stir my drink and keep my face blank. Then change the name now, I suggest evenly. His tongue presses his cheek like he's chewing a lie. From the corridor, a staff runner waves twice. The manager pivots and lifts a finger in reply. The violinist tunes and glances at the door. My phone buzzes with a new app alert. Your romance setup is staged at deck 12. I excuse myself and stand, chair scraping. He rises halfway, then reconsiders and sits. At the hostess stand, I angle toward the screen. Would you double-check our party size, I ask. She scans and frowns at a highlighted name. 3 listed, 3rd guest checked in shoreside. I feel the floor shift under that phrase. Name, I push, keeping tone soft and steady. She measures me, then lowers her voice. Lena, arrival recorded at 1930 through staff entry. I return to the table and straighten the third chair. He taps the table rhythm like a countdown. You okay? He asks through a careful smile. Perfect, I answer and lift my glass. His eyes slide to the entrance like magnets. At 1944, the band hushes the room. Lights dim just enough to hide edges. The manager lifts the mic and nods toward us. He grabs my hand and stands too quickly. I let him hold it, then shift my weight. The dessert cart rolls with a gleaming dome. The lid lifts and steam washes the lettering. Piped sugar declares the wrong name in clear script. A murmur ripples from the nearest table. He wipes his mouth and reaches for the plate. Stop, I say, voice steady and plain. I turn the plate so the room can see. Two servers stall like stalled footage. The manager blinks and checks her sheet again. The violinist lowers his bow by instinct. From behind us, a chair leg scrapes sharply. Footsteps hurry, then slow, then halt. A woman clears her throat and taps the sign. I think that's mine, she says without apology. He forgets my hand and looks past me. I rotate the dessert toward her and hold the plate still. Her eyes skim the frosting and then his face. He reaches for the dome like he can rewind time. I lift the plate higher so the room watches. The band stalls on a trembling note. Is your name on it? I ask without blinking. She taps the script with one fingernail. He forces a grin that never lands. Kitchen error, he mutters through his teeth. The hostess radios someone and keeps us in place. 5 minutes, I say, pointing to the corridor. He nods too quickly and stands from the chair. The woman follows, shoulders squared, jaw locked. We step out while whispers trail behind us. The door swings shut like a seal. Show me your messages, I say, palm up. She unlocks and opens a thread stacked with anchors. Times match tonight's schedule down to the minute. He checks the ceiling like help lives there. I screenshot with a crisp tap and pocket my phone. He tries the gentle angle first and softens his tone. Both of you got mixed into planner changes. I hold up the receipt photo from earlier. Ring pickup tomorrow at 10, explain that. His mouth opens, then closes, then flattens. She scrolls and finds a selfie on a lounge chair. Taken last cruise, she says, eyes cutting sideways. He shakes his head like the picture offends him. Old trip irrelevant, his knuckles press the rail. I switch tactics and call guest services from the wall phone. Cancel romance package for our cabin, I request clearly. The operator asks for the confirmation number. I give the digits from memory and wait. Across from me, he whispers a curse under breath. Package canceled, the line answers with a polite click. He lunges for the corridor to find the manager. I block with one step and a stare. Not another staged moment, I tell him quietly. The woman lifts her chin and folds her arms. Who was tonight for? She asks, voice steady. He breaks and tries the heroic version. I wanted to surprise each of you differently. Her laugh comes out like a kicked door. That cake spelled my name with hearts. Silence lands hard enough to bend metal. I hold out his jacket that I grabbed en route. Inside pocket, I say, tapping the lining twice. He grabs it, then stops halfway through the motion. The hesitation is small but enough. She yanks the envelope before he can pivot. She reads the jeweler line and the port note. Her breath hitches, then steadies into something colder. Tomorrow at 10 with me, she says flat. He reaches for the paper and fails by inches. I slide between them and keep my stance grounded. Here's how this works, I say, tone clipped. We go to the suite and verify everything. He shakes his head and points down the hall. Public scenes help no one, he argues with forced calm. Private scenes help you, I answer and wait. We move as a unit toward the elevators. He hits a different floor button without asking. I cancel it and press our deck twice. A crew member steps in and senses live wire. She exits at the next stop without speaking. In the corridor, a cart blocks half the path. He uses it to create distance and speed up. I cut left around a service door and meet him. He startles and drops his room card on the tile. The woman picks it up and hands it to me. At the suite door, he palms the handle. I hold the card just out of range. Answer first, I say, eyes fixed. Who is the event for tonight? He exhales through his nose and glances at the peephole. For her, he concedes, jerking his chin past me. And me, the woman snaps with zero tremor. He tries to soften with a helpless shrug. Plans changed, I panicked. I unlock the door and wave him in. Inside, a floral spray sits on ice. A printed itinerary leans against a stand. He makes a grab for it and misses. I get there first and hold it toward the window. Two initials top the page that are not mine. She reads the initials and stills for a beat. Then she folds the paper cleanly in half. Why am I the initials while she is the +1? He rubs his temple like a headache will save him. I open the cabin safe with the code I memorized. Inside lies a small velvet box and another note. I take the note and pass her the box. She flips it open and blinks once. Then closes it and pockets the box for now. The note lists the speech bullet points in order. I read the bullets aloud and keep my pace slow. Meta the peer sparks fate future. He lunges for the paper on the last word. I sidestep and let him grab air. The woman's jaw works like she's biting back fire. He pivots to pleading and reaches toward both of us. Give me a night to fix this mess. I set the note on the table and step away. Fixing means truth, not choreography, I tell him. The ship hums underfoot like a verdict. Her phone buzzes and a crew message pops up. Your celebration slot has been released, it reads. I grin without teeth and tilt the screen toward him. His shoulders drop as the last script burns. Then he makes one final play and points at the door. Security will ask you to leave my room. I lift my card and show the matching number. Joint guest, equal rights, my voice lands hard. She pulls her own pass and lays it beside mine. 3 passes, 1 room, 0 illusions. He turns to the safe like it might counsel him. I close it with a firm spin and a click. Tomorrow at 10, I say, tapping the schedule. We will be there first. His answer dies when someone knocks twice, sharp and official. I open the door and 2 officers step in. One checks our passes and scans the safe keypad. The other studies our faces like a lineup. He asks who requested assistance and waits. I did, I answer and point to the box. They ask for a simple version first. I show the envelope, the dessert photo, the schedule. He reaches to snatch, then freezes under a raised hand. The taller officer notes our cabin linkage on a tablet. Shared access stands until we separate charges, he says. The woman places the ring box on the table. Property dispute, she states without flinching. The officers exchange a look and set boundaries. No valuables leave until morning verification, they rule. He exhales like a punctured tire and nods. Any threat tonight, the shorter one asks quietly. I shake my head and keep my stance square. The woman mirrors me with arms folded tight. He gestures wide and forces a calm smile. We're fine, he insists, eyes jumping to the safe. Then here's the plan, the taller officer continues. You 3 visit guest services together now. Afterwards you sleep with doors locked. Morning meeting at 9 with the manager. Bring all documents, his tone leaves no space. We march behind them into the hallway. He hangs back 2 steps like he can fade. I slow until our shoulders draw level. Walk, I whisper and keep moving. NG. The woman matches my pace without comment. At the desk, the night supervisor straightens. I lay out the receipt, the place card, the notes. The woman unlocks her messages and turns the screen. He rubs his brow and stares at the counter. The supervisor starts a report with deliberate keystrokes. Would you like to restrict spending, she asks. Yes, split our accounts tonight, I answer. Also remove celebration charges linked to our cabin. She nods once and prints 2 confirmations. He shifts like the floor is landing. The supervisor calls a policy specialist from the back. He arrives with a clipboard and a neutral expression. Proposal packages require consent from the named recipient. Absent that consent, we cancel and flag. He stamps the report and looks up for questions. Escort to jewelry desk tomorrow at 9:50, I request. He raises an eyebrow and checks port hours. Authorized, bring ID for both guests, he replies. The woman pockets the confirmation with a decisive pat. He swallows hard and looks at the exit. We ride the elevator in loaded quiet. He clears his throat and tries a gentle tone. This got blown way out of proportion. I hold up the stamped report like a mirror. The woman taps her watch and shakes her head. At the suite door, he reaches for the knob. I block with a hand and a steady look. We rotate watch on the valuables tonight. 2 inside, 1 outside in the hallway. He starts to object and then backs down. She volunteers the first hallway shift without hesitation. I set the chair near the safe and sit. He perches near the minibar and fidgets. We listen to footsteps pass and fade. The clock on the TV creeps toward midnight. My phone buzzes with a new app alert. Third-party key request denied for your cabin, it reads. I hold the screen up for both to see. He blinks like it's a typo and looks away. The woman smirks and notes the time. He stands and moves toward the balcony door. I intercept and point him back to the couch. We finish this in daylight, I say. He sinks down and rubs his hands together. I never meant to hurt anyone, he whispers. Then help, the woman answers, voice steady. Tomorrow we walk to that counter together. You tell them exactly who the buyer is. He stares at the carpet like it can save him. Silence settles, heavy and watchful. At 1, a soft shuffle brushes the corridor. The woman knocks twice, our agreed signal. I open and switch posts without conversation. He watches me go and doesn't move. I lean against the wall and count door numbers. A couple passes and eyes the do not disturb sign. They keep moving after 1 curious glance. A steward rolls a trolley and slows near us. He nods once at my badge and keeps rolling. The hallway hums like a distant engine. My phone lights with a text from an unknown number. Meet me at aft stairs now, it reads. 3 dots flicker and a second line arrives. I deserve the truth before morning, it says. I screenshot and forward it to the woman inside. She cracks the door and reads in one breath. Her eyes narrow as she thinks in real time. Not tonight, she decides, firm and final. We lock the door and shut the message out. He paces once and stops when we stare. At 3, the officers return for a welfare check. They note the watch rotation and verify the seal. Morning meet remains on schedule, they confirm. I ask for an escort at 8:45. Approved, the taller one replies, then exits. We sleep in shifts and wake grainy but focused. He pretends to doze and fails. The woman sets alarms on 2 devices. I fold the confirmations into my pocket. Our plan holds like a tightened knot. 7 minutes before 9, we head out together. 2 officers flank us with patient steps. He tries to walk ahead and gets nudged back. The woman and I share a look that says ready. The jewelry desk comes into view with a line. A clerk waves us forward after a quick radio call. Pick up at 10 under a flagged account, he notes. He lays out a form and requests identification. We place ours down while he hesitates. Officers angle in to watch his hands. He produces his card and avoids both our faces. The clerk scans and frowns at the pop-up. Account requires multi-party acknowledgement for release, he reads. He pushes the form toward us with 2 pens. Please confirm relation to the intended recipient. I grip the pen and let the point hover. The woman does the same without blinking. He looks from one to the other, cornered. Who signs? The clerk asks with even patience. The ship's horn sounds a slow warning as we hold. I set the pen down and push the form back. No one signs until the note is corrected. The clerk glances at the officers and clears his throat. He opens a drawer and pulls the hold record. He waits for our next move like a referee. The woman taps the counter once and holds my eye. We acknowledge purchase, we block the hando. The clerk nods and marks the account restricted. He turns the screen so we can read it. The word frozen blinks beside the order. He grips the pen and leans toward the form. Let me fix the recipient line right now. I cover the page with my palm and pause. You fix it by telling the truth. The officers shift closer and stay quiet. A manager arrives with tightened shoulders and a tablet. Which of you is the partner on the record? He straightens as if the title could save him. The woman opens the box a fraction and closes it. Neither approves release, she says, voice cool. The manager studies the report stamped last night. Policy highlights in red under her thumb. Pick up postpone pending investigation, she reads aloud. He blinks hard and swallows his next sentence. A line of guests gathers and starts whispering. The manager motions us toward a small side desk. Let's finish this without an audience. We step aside while the officers flank the doorway. He rubs his jaw and drags out a breath. I plan to propose, he mutters, eyes lowered. Not to me, the woman answers, jaw set. Not to her either, I cut in fast. He looks up like a cornered animal will. Both of you matter, he says, face pale. The manager lifts a hand and ends that path. Consent is required from the named person, she states. No consent exists, this order will be reversed. She taps a sequence and the status flips again. Refund pending rises on the screen like a verdict. He stares at it and finally sags. Your accounts will separate now, the manager continues. Room access remains joint until alternate arrangements. I sign to confirm the split and step back. The woman signs with a swift stroke and pockets her copy. He hesitates, then scribbles with a shaky grip. The clerk collects the papers and stores the box. It stays in the vault until the next port. He locks the drawer and notes the time. The officers relax a fraction but remain posted. He watches the drawer like it holds oxygen. Next step, I say, turning toward guest services. We reissue keys, we schedule cabin review. The woman checks her watch and nods once. He follows 2 steps behind like he hates his shoes. People glance and then look away fast. At the desk, a new supervisor logs into our file. 2 guests retain the suite until noon, she confirms. After noon, we can move one to another room. The woman and I both point at him together. Transfer him, I say without blinking. He flares, then shrinks under 3 calm stares. Find another room, he grinds out finally. The system prints a temporary card for him. The supervisor slides it across without ceremony. Pack your items with a crew witness. We walk back under escort along the promenade. He tries to build a sentence and fails twice. The woman keeps pace with even steps. My phone pings with a new internal message. Incident file updated, it reads timestamped. Inside the suite, a steward waits by the door. Inventory check now, please open storage. He stands at the closet and opens it fully. I load my bag while keeping him in view. The woman rounds up her things without chatter. The steward lists each item with brisk rhythm. 2 dresses, 1 blazer, 1 pair of shoes. He pauses at the safe and glances at me. I spin the dial and open it for inspection. Empty box slot, no paper, nothing else inside. The steward seals the safe with a numbered strip. He photographs the seal and logs the code. Transfer approved, he tells the officers. He gestures to the hallway for departure. We file out single file, no one trusting silence. Halfway down the corridor, he stops moving. He turns with hands out like a truce. Can we talk alone for 5 minutes? The woman shakes her head in one tight motion. Say it here, I answer, spine straight. I screwed up, he starts, voice near cracking. I panicked when both plans overlapped. The woman exhales like she is done waiting. Apologize to us and stop arranging shows. He opens his mouth again and closes it. A teenager down the hall peeks from a doorway. Her parent pulls her back with a soft whisper. The steward clears his throat and points forward. We resume walking without another attempt at pity. His new door beeps and swings open to a blank room. Stay reachable for the 9:30 follow-up. The officer passes him a printed reminder slip. He nods and sits on the bed in defeat. The door shuts and the latch connects. The hallway feels lighter with him contained. The woman and I head for the rail. We lean side by side and watch a tug approach. After the follow-up, we choose our exits, she says. I nod and feel my shoulders unclench. My phone buzzes again and I brace. The message is from an unknown local number. Bride party meets at noon on deck 12. Attached is a screenshot of a group chat. His username sits in the list near the top. I forward it to the manager with one lin. At 9:30 we report back to the desk. He arrives late with damp hair and a new shirt. The manager is waiting with 2 printed summaries. Your charges have been adjusted and frozen, she says. Your room moves are complete at midday. Are we done? He asks without looking up. Almost, I answer, voice flat and steady. We need a statement for your group chat. The woman taps the screenshot with a short nail. You inform them the event is cancelled. He bows his head and types with stiff thumbs. We watch every word until the message sends. Read receipts bloom in a row under his text. A reply comes fast with 3 question marks. He pockets the phone and stares at the floor. The manager clears her throat for the final item. Disembark options are available for anyone who requests. Port agents can assist with hotels and flights. The woman looks at me and raises an eyebrow. I nod once and choose daylight over drama. We pack in 10 minutes with efficient motions. I leave the welcome card on the table face up. The woman places the sealed copy beside it. We close the door and do not look back. He remains inside his new room like a quiet statue. At the gangway, a crew agent checks our documents. Reason for early departure, he asks, businesslike. Reservation dispute resolved without acceptance, I answer. He marks voluntary and radios for clearance. The line opens for us with a crisp nod. We ride the tender toward shore in loaded quiet. Wind chops our hair and blurs stray thoughts. The woman hands me the scarf from last night. For your story, she says, half a smile. I loop it once and keep my eyes forward. On the dock, a port officer waves us over. Ship provided notice of a cancelled ceremony, he explains. Any claims to file regarding payments or gifts? The woman holds up the receipt copy with care. Refund in process, no gift was delivered. Any safety concerns, he continues, eyes scanning faces. No, we managed it with staff and logs. He thanks us and gestures toward the terminal exit. We roll our bags over the painted line. The ship towers behind us and hums like a warning. My phone lights again with a fresh text. This one comes from him with a long paragraph. I watch the preview and resist opening it. The woman tilts her head as if to ask. I delete it without a single tap. We find the port office and arrange transport. 2 separate bookings, 2 separate hotels. She finishes first and sticks out her hand. Thank you for not letting me be a surprise. I grip back and feel heat fade from my chest. Outside, vendors call and travelers argue and laugh. I turn once and catch the ship listing in light swells. On the upper deck, a photographer lifts a camera. A couple poses with flutes raised high. I look away before that frame locks in. A final message arrives from guest services. Incident closed, refund issued, access cards deactivated. I screenshot it and save it for later. The woman texts me her number with one line. Send the dessert photo when you post. We split at the taxi stand with a nod. She vanishes into traffic with the scarf's echo. I set my bag down and breathe for 4 counts. Then 5, then 6. The ship's horn rolls over the water like a dare. A driver opens a door and waits without questions. I climb in and name a destination close by. As we pull away, I check the time. I thumb the camera and line up my shot. The envelope sits in my lap like a punchline. I frame the corner where the wrong name lives. I add the place card with the 3 dots. The screenshot of the refund flashes on top. I take the photo and let the phone vibrate. Some stories need no caption to land hard. The driver asks if I am celebrating or leaving. Both, I answer, eyes on the shrinking hull. He nods like he understands more than he should. The taxi turns and the ship slips behind a storage shed. I keep my gaze steady and let the view go.